Hello, my name is Robin. I own Robin's Healing. Thank you so much for tuning in to this channel. We're going to discuss the topic of tarot cards. I'm so thrilled about this topic. You can buy multiple types of tarot cards, and I feel like at the end of the day, it's all about your energy that you put into your cards. Thank you so much for subscribing to this channel. I so much appreciate it, especially for new people coming on here. You don't know how much I appreciate it. Again, the more people that come on here, probably the more videos I will be doing because I know that there's an interest in this topic. So, going into the energy of numbers with tarot, it's for people that are just starting basic, because that's what I really want to talk about. Maybe you've never touched a deck before. Maybe you're just opening your deck. Maybe you've been doing tarot for a long time, but you've just been kind of messing around. So this would be a great introductory video towards the numerology. I'm not sure why, but I've always felt like the numbers are the most important thing, because if you can read and identify with the number attached to the card, you'll basically be able to get enough information to begin. So that being said, let's start with the ace. So the ace of cups, swords, pentacles, and fire or wands, depending on the tarot card deck. Now each card deck is a little bit different, but they all have the same principles. So in this conversation, we're going to discuss the number that will then be attached to one of the elements. And so ace, if you think about the ace being the energy that is just starting off. So when I think about an ace, I think about almost like two hands coming together. Where I teach other types of energy work, I always think about the beginning. Whenever we start our meditation or our Reiki or our yoga, we're always going into like an intention or a prayer or something that we want to put in. So one thing I would recommend is when you begin anything, the energy is going to look like this, and it's very much an ace. So if you just think about the ace in tarot being the energy of something just starting fresh, and it's up to you in terms of what you want to do with that, it's very much a positive energy because you're just starting off with excitement. So it's a new beginning. So if you're taking notes or you're just trying to remember, think about the energy of a circumstance being a business. I always like to start a subject with an idea. So I want to start a new business, and I need the ace to help me with that because I need a little bit of a fresh start, fresh energy, and ace or a one is going to help me with that. Perfect. Moving into the two. Now it's time to think about a couple. Maybe I want to get other people to help me with this business, or I would need the support of my family or my friends, or I need the support of the community. So two often represents an energy of involving someone else, right? It's be pretty boring if we were just by ourselves. In the beginning, we're just alone with our ideas or our thoughts, but then all of a sudden, when we put it into place, we need someone else. So when you think about two, think about a couple. And so it takes two, to create a pair. And so the two often represents the energy of that fluid energy involving either someone else in your ideas or someone else in your feelings. all right? But regardless, the energy is positive and it is moving in a positive forward direction when we see the number 2. Then we're transitioning into the number 3. And for a lot of people, the number 3 can represent an energy of productivity. Because after we've come up with the idea and now we have someone else involved, it's great because we're feeling supported. So it's starting to build something. And so that's often an energy where we want to feel like we can conclude something. Okay, we came up with the idea, now we've made a plan, let's solidify it. So when we see the number 3, we can feel like there's a strong forward motion coming into play. So if that's in relation to a couple coming together with a feeling, then maybe it's like they're feeling really excited and it's an energy that is extremely positive. Or if it is a thought, where you're coming up with these plans, or these universal energies are really coming together for you, you're gonna finally say, okay, I'm gonna stick with this plan, or I'm gonna really stick with this thought, and it's firm. So you can feel good about that thought, okay? So as we're working towards that business plan, as we transition into the number 4, I think about the number 4 as a square, right? And the square represents the energy of success or security. If you look at a square, meaning, okay, I've got all 4 corners now up of that business. This is my building. This is my masterpiece. And so it can often represent an energy of success. It could represent the energy of abundance in your career. So we've transformed from the ace to the 2 to the 3, and now we actually have that something physical built for ourselves. So if this is in relation to an idea, that idea should be feeling pretty heavy now. Like there should be a heavy energy in relation to this, because you've probably put a lot of energy into this, okay? So there's often rewards associated with this. And for some people, if it is emotional, you're gonna be feeling like maybe there's even just that time of like, you know, getting under something as well. So if that could be for you, like if it were an idea, now you can just kind of like chill out and rest about it. So it's time to just take a bit of a breather, because you've done a lot. So this, because there's a bit of a heavy energy related to that as we work on the 5, there's no vibration with the 5, okay? So it's just like, it's not always a stale energy, but when we're really productive, it often can lead to a bit of a gap. And so our 5 is that kind of empty hole, we'll call it. All right, we've done what we needed to do, and now there's a bit of a hole there. All right, and so this could be, maybe you're tired and you need a time out, or maybe you feel like things aren't going exactly the way you wanted to, but regardless, there's an energy that needs to move in a new direction. It's something that, if it was abundance for you in your career with the 4, now it's time to work on like manifesting a dream or something. So we're going to work on kind of like a figuring it out energy. So look at 5 as an opportunity for, I feel like, spiritual growth. So change, connecting maybe for some people to their health, feeling like they're just identifying with anything that's going wrong in their life that they would like to transition away from or out of. Anything that you're going through where you feel like you need to question it, this is a perfect energy for moving into a better place in your life. So there's always going to be an interesting balancing frequency that has to happen. All right. So as we get into 6, look at 6 as the thumbs up in relation to that, because when we go into the number 6, keeping in mind, if we see cards together, we can multiply them, so we can even look at numbers as a duo coming in as a whole together. So really notice how the cards are coming in as a collective as well. So when we have a 6, this is usually telling us that the hard work that we've been doing in relation to this business is actually, as we made some changes and we took the time that we needed, we're feeling like we've achieved. And so 6 can really represent the energy of frequency, movements, new direction. We're inviting maybe people over now because we've built it, and now they're actually able to come over. So we're feeling the frequency of it. We're feeling the beauty, the compromise, the generosity, the spirit that's coming. The results are there. They're in for us. So a lot of abundance. So the frequency of abundance in a lot of ways. And again, we can always look at this from an emotional standpoint as well with the 6. So you're almost guaranteed something great and wonderful with that number. Keeping in mind, we're always looking at how this is relative to our lives and our situation. So as we go into the number 7, 7 can be the number of really like just relaxing, because now if you've got that reassurance and you've had all these people, come in and to this new place that you've invited them into, and they went and then they came, and now it's like, okay, I think it's time to really just sit with this a bit more and recollect myself and regenerate this energy and feel that fluidity, so it will become more than I could have ever expected. And so relationships can come into play because when we're dealing with the energy of balance from the 6, it can really help the heart. If we were going through, what used to be a difficult time for us before we even began, maybe this is an opportunity to now shine in terms of like our spiritual connection to the universe. So this is something to really be feeling alive about. But what happens is we really need to rest and recollect as well. So we're kind of bringing it inward to realign and rebalance at this time, but we're also well aware that it's time to get more joyful, and it's time to get more alive, because we've only really just started in this process as well. So there's almost like, I feel like a laughter energy with the 7, because it's almost like your job to make sure that things are going according to plan. So it's kind of like a serious number, and so that's why we have to really make sure that we're connecting to the things that we know we're meant to connect to. So I love that. 8 is our time to really, really, really not just get connected that way, but get connected in terms of like, oh, now we're expanding the business. Now it's time. We're going not just to this universe, but to that universe, and then that universe is going to connect to that universe. So 8 is really a time to get control of situations. If there was a period where there was a lot of money coming in the business, and then there wasn't, so then we're kind of like, okay, I noticed that, and now I'm like, we have to do something about that, and I'm willing to dedicate like my life to this. So there's a lot of peace around this number. There's a lot of serenity around the number 8. There's a lot of gold, so there is a lot of money. There is a lot of centering and realigning and balancing because of the transition. we're keeping in mind of everything that we've already explored. So as these numbers are getting bigger, we're able to really access those gifts and talents that we have. It's very much like 8 is going to be your I'm shining because I have to shine, but also because I want to shine kind of thing. So education's really going to come up around the number 8. Really making sure that you're embracing yourself, your own qualities, your own talents. So making sure that everything's good, everything's aligned, everything is in check, everything's spelled correctly, like you name it. That's what your number 8 is gonna do. I don't like to use the word perfection, but you really are mastering these modalities, these abilities, and all that jazz, okay? So coming into the number 9, we're getting into some really powerful stuff. 9 is going to help us really identify with those challenges, and I feel like in a lot of ways, we're really getting the rewards, which is fantastic. But then it's also because, you know, if you have a business, there's so much work attached to it that you know that it's about connecting to everything that you've learned. And it can be the most beautiful thing, and it can be the most centering thing and grounding. And when it comes to communication, you may be feeling like you're able to spark interest in other people, or it's very easy to identify with thoughts and feelings. There's a lot of pride that comes up with this number. The main thing I think there is that we're constantly working towards the love energy and letting go of the judgment with this number. So really focus on being proud of yourself when you see the number 9, and really focusing on that pride as well, because there's so much joy and abundance attached to it that it's your job to disconnect to anything that could stop you from that. So if it's bringing it back, reminding yourself of the balance, if it's reminding yourself of communication, there's very much a positive moving forward energy, but it has to be there. It's just like you're almost there. So moving in and switching over into the number 10, the fabulous 10, there's beauty that surrounds this number like all the way around. You got your feet wet, you lived it, you experienced that pride and joy, and you probably celebrated with people. You're probably feeling really good about yourself, but situations arise in these moments of the 10 as well. So it's really making sure, as we were talking about community, communication, communion, common law, commonalities, the word calm is really coming up, and you have to feel really calm with the 10 because there's so much energy that needs to be put forward now. It's important that you're just in love with your life and your intelligence and your gratitude, and you're feeling peaceful and you're feeling loved and centered and grounded, and everything's taken care of, and you're taken care of, and everybody else is taken care of. And it's really time to open up to even starting a new business, another business. So I'd say if you are seeing a lot of 10s, especially 1s, you should be feeling really optimistic because there's some beautiful energy that's coming through for you. And 0 would be the other number that is attached to the 10. And so as we see the ace, remember that we're really focusing in on that, trying to build that pyramid, that hierarchy for yourself from 1 to 10. 0 is spirit. And it's saying that when we see that number, it's really important that we're connecting to that spiritual energy, to that connection, to that alignment, to that enlightenment for some people, if you believe in that, that that you're in an energy where you're being helped, but you can also help other people. So making sure that you're always identifying with your own energy, where you are, what you can do more of, what you need to do, because that is going to make you feel very joyful and grounded all at the same time. So zero will also help you connect more to that light energy. It will help you. So if we're seeing the zero next to something, it's going to be pretty amazing, as long as you're acknowledging that like where you are and how you're feeling and how that relates. All right. So if you see the zero as well, making sure that you're really dealing with things as well, and that you're able to get yourself out of situations that aren't necessarily positive for you, because it's there to bring you back into that circle from 1 to 10. So it's like this little bit of releasing energy as well. So really, as we relate it to the community and going back into the calm energy, when we see zero in with the 1 in tarot, we're going to feel like, okay, the calm with the connection is making the effort to feel alive all the time, and know that I'm safe and know that I'm protected. And how this relates to my life should always be joyful and also celebrated, I feel. Okay, so I hope that you guys found this helpful, and if you did, please put the thumbs up, as well comment on these videos and let me know what you'd like to see more of. I also teach tarot cards online, and if you're interested in knowing more about that, you can go to provincehealing.com. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and you can check out more of my YouTube videos. Bye!